Hey guys.
Hey.
We are back.
Week before Christmas.
Creeping up.
Christmas Eve's next Sunday.
Yeah. Nice.
Fast, man. Feels pretty quick. I got to book my Ohio ticket.
Are you going to get in trouble again?
Are you going to actually go or?
I got to go.
Yeah.
I have no choice. It's just rough.
Why?
You want to know why? I know why. And yes, I'm bougie, and yes, everyone can laugh at me and all that stuff. But it is because, and I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, I know you listen to the podcast. I had a great childhood. I appreciate it. There's just nothing. There's no nice hotels. Like even it's pretty like Holiday Inn-ish.
There's got to be one nice hotel.
Look it up.
I'm looking up.
Radisson Suites. Even, you know what? My family was like, oh no, they built a lot of nice new stuff down by Canton because there's the Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And it's literally like, it's not, there's not cockroaches crawling around, but I'm just saying that it's...
you want room service, blah.
Well, no, I'm just saying when I go to Nashville now, there's like Thompson's and...
The one hotel.
Yeah, and so you kind of feel like you have your own space a little bit.
There's a Courtyard Marriott.
Exactly.
Okay. Hilton Garden Inn.
Thank you.
I have a better idea.
You just named the top 2 hotels.
It is.
Within a 60-mile radius.
So, but you're going to go for
listen.
2 nights.
No, listen.
Right.
I have a better idea.
Yeah.
Why don't you get an Airbnb?
You should look that up next. Have you ever seen Making a Murder on Netflix?
Why don't you get the penthouse at the Courtyard?
I would, but I don't know if they even have one. Trust me, I'll try.
I have an idea because we just did this for our Thanksgiving with my in-laws and their family.
New Mexico, right?
New Mexico. We did a couple families got there was a lot of people that came.
Yeah.
We got Airbnbs. Instead of going to the house, they're like the local person's house. Everyone went to the Airbnb.
But was the Airbnb like similar to the one we got for Super Bowl in Phoenix? Like just a nice normal house.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, the same way you just looked, if you look on Airbnb anywhere close, it's pretty wild.
Like LeBron's mom is not Airbnb-ing her home.
It doesn't need to. Any rich people, there's a few nice houses. Any rich people don't need to. It's a different lifestyle. It's not as much
What's
like
the closest town to Akron?
Canton.
Okay.
Then Cleveland.
Cleveland's 1 hour.
1 hour. It's I could do that, but it's kind of brutal.
There's
like
a Ritz in Cleveland. I stayed there.
Cleveland would be okay. It's just that I would have to stay with my parents. They go to bed, at 10, 11, and then I'm driving to Cleveland and then back. Right. I mean, that could work. So, but that just goes into my point is there's not that. There's not, like nice restaurants. You're going to Olive Garden.
But aren't you going to hang out with your family?
Yes. But what I'm saying is it's also freezing cold, no snow. So all that I'm saying is you're just sitting in the living room of your parents' home.
We've seen the videos. They're great.
Exactly. For however many days straight. And it weighs on me. I'm 37 years old now. It's just...
You can't do it for 2 days?
I'm going to. But I'm complaining. Let me vent.
I know you can complain.
It's just tough.
No,
it's just like, look, and for the listener who's going to... It's not tough in the grand scheme of the world. It's just a bit of a chore. It's also another kicker. It's a 4.5 hour flight. I mean, you're almost to New York.
Yeah. Why don't you propose for the family? Here's an idea. So what's the total quantum number of people that will attend Christmas dinner?
Let's say, in the house on Christmas Day will be probably 15 people.
Okay. What if you proposed Airbnb? Okay, listen.
I'm listening.
You do a couple.
Oh, I thought you wanted him to propose.
No,
you should do that too.
First.
Yeah. You should do both. You could do both that this weekend.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch that. If you did an Airbnb in Cleveland, okay, you take care of it, right, and invite the whole family there, even get someone to cook, right, get someone to get all the ingredients,
get LeBron chef.
What?
Get LeBron chef.
He's looking for work.
He's in LA. The Lakers are playing here.
Well, I'm saying LeBron's old chef's probably just milling about. Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Got Airbnb.
I'm saying for the price, to get a really nice Airbnb in Cleveland cannot be expensive.
No.
Cheaper than a really nice hotel.
Yeah.
And then your because the whole, I agree on the hotel. I think it's a bad idea because the whole point is to spend time with family.
Yeah.
Not sitting in a hotel room.
Yeah.
So if you got an Airbnb and then you got all the amenities you need, invite them all there. So, and then let everyone stay, get two Airbnbs.
I know. The problem is, which this is going to start to sound like I'm looking for excuses, is like my parents have a very strict Christmas like routine, like
tradition,
like meaning they go to church the night before. There's like a little candle service. They go to church the morning of.
Okay.
They have the tree set up. They have all the stuff. My mom's probably planning to cook. Like you
could still do almost all those things.
Yeah.
And still have like a different experience.
Well, let me tell you what's gonna happen. I'm not going. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna fly there. I'm gonna rent a car. I'm gonna drive to my childhood home.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit in the living room for 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get very poor sleep in my childhood bed, and then I'm gonna come home.
That's fine.
That's what I'm gonna do.
That's fine. I don't think that's something to complain about.
It's just I wanted to be honest. People like podcasters that are honest.
I think a lot of people listening have done that or do that still.
I know, I feel like everybody I talk to is fucking from like at least like outside of Chicago, outside of New Jersey, outside of like, I'm like, is anyone here from fucking where The Simple Life was filmed?
Yeah. but I'll tell you that I do think that everyone is basically going back to their childhood home-esque and having a shitty night of sleep. And some people have kids, so they're having a shitty night of sleep with their kids who are also going to have a shitty night of sleep.
Yeah, that's worse.
Yeah. So,
that's true. That's true. That's way worse.
So,
but and you just told me I should propose. That sounds like I should run the other way. I will say I don't want to air him out too much on his private details, but you guys can guess what they are. I went golfing the other day last week with my cousin Rob, who does very well for himself. And he just went to Ohio. And I said, how was it? Because I'm kind of struggling with, and I'm sorry our parents are going to hate this, but I was like, how was it?
Rob's like a billionaire.
Exactly. And I was like, how was it? So just imagine he can do any
version of it.
And the way he's traveling and he's landing at different airports. And I was like, how was it? He's like, fucking brutal. Like, I don't know how. I don't know what I'm going to do in the future, but I can't do that. And I was like, and you did this thing, that thing, that thing, that thing. Yeah. And I'm flying fucking Delta on a red eye to,
Is he staying at his family home? Is that the problem?
Well, he has 3 kids, right?
I want to be vague.
Where were the kids?
He's staying at a brand new house.
Okay. But so
kids came.
But I mean, why don't you guys all like fucking get a home? Because
it's so cheap. He's from too far. He lives 3 hours away. His family.
Maybe there's like a compromise within the family. You get a nice Columbus for like $300,000. You get like a house. Yeah. You kit it out. That way you're going to all the holidays. It's just like
here's my real strategy. And then we can end this topic because I feel like some people are probably sleeping.
It's an unbelievable topic.
Okay, good. Because my little cousins what used to be my little cousins are now like 25.
Yeah.
And so they now are like, hey, cool cousin from LA, why don't we go like somewhere else? Like Christmas here sucks.
Yeah.
What if we planned a trip?
Yes.
And so what I'm going to do is enlist the cousins, come up with a plan where every year we have a new tradition. Maybe we go to Florida, maybe the Bahamas. That's a close flight for them. Maybe we go wherever.
I mean, you could go to Chicago if you can drive there. Isn't it pretty close?
Yeah, 8 hours.
Yeah.
So, but I'm saying like, imagine like a nice, warm, you could go, I don't know, there's places in Florida where you could get an awesome Airbnb.
What happened to Myrtle Beach? Wasn't that your spot?
I'd like to upgrade a little. Because also my other...
Go to Palm Beach with your boy Trump.
There you go. Let's go to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. Great.
Do some sightseeing.
Have a nice Christmas.
Yes. And I think that's actually the strategy. Create a new tradition.
Yes.
Because unfortunately, it's not in my immediate plans to have kids. I think kids is the out.
Yeah.
I think once you have kids, you can be like, hey, I need to start a Christmas tradition with them.
Yeah.
I need them to walk down in the morning. I wonder if Santa came.
Yeah.
You guys got to come to me.
Yeah. Maybe the way you get out of this is just go pop out a couple kids.
Maybe that. That seems like one of the easiest options of all the ones I just named.
Just be like, I can take a red eye to Akron, or I can have 2 kids.
If I had to rank the likelihood of your parents, we obviously know your parents well.
Yeah.
They're going to keep the tradition.
Yeah.
Either showing up or they're not going to hang out with you on Christmas.
That's pretty likely.
Unless you have kids and you force them to come here.
I mean, if you have kids, they're coming here 100%.
Of course.
Yeah.
I will say last time they came here, I got them a really nice Airbnb in the valley. And like I purposely did that to try to like, hey, this is nice.
Yeah.
You know, you're not staying.
It's a different experience.
Yeah, we can come hang out with you. You have a nice little backyard.
Yeah.
But they're just, they're involved in the church. And so during Christmas, there's a lot of church things. And they're pretty like scheduled, solid on their thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, this time of year is always.
Good luck. I mean, I'm curious to see how next week plans out.
I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna go. I'm gonna book a last minute way overpriced ticket. I'm gonna fly on a terribly timed flight, probably a red eye, and I'm gonna sit in the living room for 2 or 3 days.
Why don't you at least book the flight now? You can always get a refund.
I'm going to tonight. I can't skip. I skipped Thanksgiving. I can't skip. It's just, I'm at that weird age. I think when you're 20, in your 20s, we were flying around all the time, and I was going to fucking Minnesota to sign autographs at a gas station at a come and go. Like, what's the big deal?
Well, that could be just post-pandemic hangover where you're just not used to getting on a plane for anything.
That doesn't help. Yeah. That doesn't help. But I just am not, we were sleeping in airports and fucking, there was one time me and our old marketing guy, Kevin Delaney, I don't know why we did this. We flew to Florida and we slept at a fan's house. We did that. And we slept in this weird fucking attic. And like, it was just like, whatever, we have a PacSun signing we got to get up for. So going home to Ohio is no big deal, but now I'm starting to get a little.
So it's funny is we're hearing like a Midwest rant.
Yeah.
There's another guy from the Midwest that had a rant.
We like to rant, and I bet my parents would be much more upset if I had this rant.
Yes, I would agree with that. I would 100% agree.
Let's talk about it. You guys sent this to the group chat.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest. Here's how I'm going to just say my part is I kind of had a feeling that like maybe Kanye learned his lesson a little. Or even, I don't know if he's a guy who'll ever learn his lesson. Maybe he just chilled out a little. Mm-hmm. Maybe like all of the chaos and kind of being quiet for a while, maybe he kind of chilled out. And then, he was supposed to release an album.
Yeah.
He didn't, right?
Yeah, that's never coming.
Okay, so he released a track list. It was kind of like, okay, Kanye's back. And,
so people that are posting records is just from the listening party that they're...
I think there's leaks, music that's leaked and people are just saying this is the album.
Okay.
So along with his album rollout comes a hot new Rant that's like hotter than ever. Definitely didn't chill out.
No. So before we get to what the Rant was, where was he?
It looked like a house.
Who was he with?
I don't know.
So our friend AJ had an amazing comment about, he looks like he's at the Palazzo at an apartment.
Yeah, it didn't look like a big house. It looked
like an apartment.
So he was in Miami earlier in the week, which everyone saw.
Yeah.
He did the listening party, then he performed at Live.
Yeah.
And then he was in Vegas doing a warehouse situation. And then this Rant came out the next day.
And he's just like at the Palazzo. So those that don't live in LA, Palazzo is like an apartment complex across
from
the
like
Grove.
Celebs go to die.
Yeah, it's basically like...
Or it's kind of like where every probably TikTok wannabe
It's like your first stop in LA.
Lives. Yeah.
Your first stop in LA, you get an apartment at the Palazzo.
Yep. And so that's what it looked like. It looked like about 8 girls that were being a little too loud. One got kicked out. And
how did he allow them to film it? Because that girl was filming and she kept going back and forth.
He thinks it's prophetic.
Yes, he thinks...
He thinks in his mind, what do you mean allow him to film it? In his mind,
he should have been filming it.
This needs to be broadcast.
And I think if you haven't watched it, it's just...
How do you even sum it up? It's so long.
It's so long.
It's 10 minutes that was released. So he probably talked for an hour.
Oh,
right.
He talked 6 hours. They just, all of a sudden, the music and alcohol kicked in. People just forgot to film.
Yeah. So it's very long. He goes in on, still going in on the Jewish people.
Yep.
Goes in on Sierra Canyon. one thing that he said that's getting a lot of press, obviously, is that North threw a fit and ripped up all the couches in the house because she couldn't see her dad. Who knows?
Yeah.
What other highlights?
I mean,
he went on Vanguard.
He went after Michael Rubin.
Yeah.
Maverick Carter. Ari Emanuel.
Jerry Lorenzo.
Oh yeah, light skin. Yeah.
He went after.
He also went on kind of a rant that's like a shitty version of like one of those YouTube videos where it was like, here's how the world works.
Yeah.
Like the bankers and then
he went after Big Pharma.
Yeah, Big Pharma.
Yeah.
And
He said he needs royalties because he's the face of bipolar.
Yeah.
Which this is what's so funny about him to me, and by funny I mean annoying, is he's like, oh, they labeled me bipolar. They labeled me bipolar. I can't believe they did that. On his album art for that one album, it said like, I hate being bipolar. It's awesome or something.
Yeah.
He wrote that in his handwriting.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're such a like victim, like everyone's out to get you. It's so but this is my other take is he seems like, I don't want to like label him, unwell, but it doesn't seem like, I feel like the old Kanye, even though he would rant, it was kind of like, blah, blah, blah. He seems like angry, like very.
Yeah. So I think all the effects of everything he said has crushed him. Like he's not who he was.
But it's sad to see that he didn't
adjust,
sit a couple plays out and say.
But here's my real issue with. Obviously, he said the most offensive stuff you could possibly say in a 10-minute rant. Like he literally boxed it in. It's how can I be the most offensive person
pretty effective.
in 10 minutes?
He pissed everybody off.
He did.
But sadly, the youth still follows him.
Mm-hmm.
And this rhetoric is just gaslighting so much of the division we already see amongst, the anti-Semitism. And it's really dangerous. And
it's really dangerous.
I know we are old enough to be like, laugh about it because we're like, oh, this crazy guy, ranting in the palazzo.
Yeah.
Whatever he was. But I think the youth actually thinks it's gospel.
Yeah, I mean,
I think a lot do.
I think if you went in the comment section, I remember looking at it, and a lot of kids were like, "Yeah, facts, standing on business."
Yeah,
facts.
I saw that. Standing on business. What is whose business?
Yeah, that's
guess what? We went after Bernard Arnault and Alexander Arnault.
Let me tell you, you ain't standing near their business. Let me want to clarify the link.
But this is where the danger is, right? Like
you're barely standing.
We are old enough to be able to think it's a clown show. Like we can laugh about it.
Yeah.
But I think an 18-year-old watches that and is listening it to word by word and saying like, oh, wow, he's
facts.
Yeah, exactly. Facts.
But I have a kind of a deep take here, which is I think that I think over the last 5 or 6 years, our leadership has failed us in so many different ways. Like we've seen them lying. We've seen them,
the distrust is out there.
Censoring. We've seen conspiracies. We've seen Epstein. We've seen all these things. And I think that the result of that nobody thinks about is that when people completely distrust leadership, then they want to believe, they need to believe something. So Kanye hits on a couple points that everyone loves, which is that money runs the world, and maybe this group is responsible. Yeah, the fucking Medicis, and maybe this group is responsible for you not being happy, and everyone's lying to you. And I think that like when leadership fails that badly, you allow that dangerous.
That's what happened in Nazi Germany.
Yeah,
they lost trust of the media and leadership, and they found this
crazy
psychopath.
fucking art school loser.
Well, I mean,
literally a pussy.
Literally.
To like highlight how offensive the rant was, he said there's Jesus, there's Hitler, and yay. So he's comparing himself to Hitler.
But keep in mind, he also is comparing Jesus to Hitler.
Right.
Like that's a weird trio. You can compare yourself to Hitler. That we can put that in a bucket of like, okay, you're a psycho. But you're comparing Jesus Christ,
who's a Jewish person,
to Hitler. And then
it's Jesus, someone who billions of people worship, and Hitler, who committed a genocide or tried to attempt a genocide.
Yeah,
and Kanye.
the weird, I don't even know how to like parse that out. That trio.
Yeah.
So
it's just,
he's an idiot.
He's an idiot.
well, forget,
There's nothing to it.
we all know he's an idiot. We all know he's not mentally well. My real fear is how much impact he has on the youth. He was at the Miami Heat game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that last week.
No.
Kids were just like fawning over him, like trying to get selfies. He was at Liv. Liv was bananas when he went on stage.
Yep.
And Liv, I mean, it's just like really scary that no one's actually holding him accountable because they know he brings
So
viewers.
I agree. I disagree with that. I think there are people that are holding him accountable. It's just not everybody is.
Because there's always someone that wants the crowd.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
You're always going to get someone that wants the crowd.
I think the important thing here is that the adults like do the right thing. Because all the kids in the world can think he's amazing, but if people don't.
But isn't that the problem now? Because it's direct distribution. Like Alex Jones is back on Twitter.
Right. But the good thing is he can't, so he can start a podcast. I'd be fine with that. But if he can't release shoes and arguably music and, you know, he doesn't have those sort of resources, he's a little chopped off at
And I mean, he's already chopped off.
Yeah.
Right? He's already.
They just have to keep it that way because as Anand's saying, we know that people will forget right and wrong real quick when you see how kids are reacting.
Yeah.
Because that's
if there's
just
money, if there's dollar signs.
open
involved.
wallets. Yeah,
exactly. Okay.
Yeah, because if I had to guess, if he were to perform at SoFi, not saying that they would allow him, it would be sold out in seconds.
Yeah.
I mean,
Doesn't even matter what the price is.
Especially right now. I mean, I think Rogan had a comedian, Shane Gillis, a great comedian on his show, and they made a quick little joke that was like, what a time to be hating on Jewish people. Like there are people that would show up to that show. Not only would it sell out, there would be like Free Palestine flags in the audience.
Yeah, it would
sure.
Like there's this weird dual momentum happening that would be really scary.
Yeah.
You know? But I just think, look, in my opinion, he is the epitome. If I had to sum it up in a couple words, he's the epitome of just fame and, you know, when you're treated like you can do no wrong for so long, and everything he touched in his world felt like turned to absolute gold.
He to me, the biggest problem I think that I see with very successful, powerful people, specifically in entertainment, I think in finance and whatever, people have a very different view of it. But like, if something doesn't work for a famous person, they often think that everyone's conspiring against them, that everyone is out to get them. That is what popular culture believes. Yeah. Like Illuminati, all this nonsense. Yeah. But like, if you're in finance and you fuck up, you fucked up. That is why
it's a scoreboard. It's because you either made the right trade or you didn't make the right trade.
I know, but I'm just saying, even when like people get taken down for shit in finance, you fucked up. You are the reason why this happened. Where in entertainment, it's like everything is like a conspiracy or Illuminati. No, they don't want to work with you because you fucked up. That's it.
But that's how easy it is to get delusional. Like, who's the biggest person in, let's just say Bill Ackman. Bill Ackman, even though I'm sure in his day-to-day life is treated like an absolute king. Yeah. He's not like, it's different than the way Kanye or Justin Bieber is treated. Yeah. Everybody from politicians to whoever they walk into a room with treats them like fair. They are. There are people that criticize a Bill Ackman very openly, publicly, or people that try to bring lawsuits to him, or other competitors that are very opinionated about their moves. Yeah. But with celebrity's so fucking weird.
I don't understand the glamorization of celebrities.
No, that's the point.
This is what we do.
Because we all, and like globally, can say the things Kanye's done in the last handful of years are so offensive. They're so hateful, but he wants to show up to live. He gets to show up.
Yeah. Not only show up, but you know that everybody is like, right this way. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Good to see you.
Yeah. And that's only, we do this for celebrities. We don't do this for any other celebrities. Premier, profession.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wild.
But this is, I think that like fame is weird. Fame. We always talk about it. We talked about it with kind of like Matthew Perry and all that stuff. I think we're just seeing like someone who is handling it very, very poorly.
I mean,
he's handling it poorly, but I don't think anyone's going to ban him from shit.
No, look at what happened in that video. Everyone says, shush, shush, shush. The girl talked too much. Get her out. They got her out.
Exile.
He said, exile. He said, no one here is with me. And they said, yes, we are. Yeah, yes, we are. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Nobody posted when I couldn't see north. Yes, yay, please. Yeah. We're with you. You see it happening in that video. Why doesn't somebody say, shut the fuck up, dude?
Yeah.
Are you playing your music or not?
Yeah. Where's the pizza?
I gotta go. You're just a guy.
Yeah.
You're not. What the fuck?
Yeah. And I love music in general and I appreciate music, but I don't give a fuck what any musician says straight up.
Yeah. Why would you? You've met too many of them to know that they're fucking.
But even as a kid, I loved LA gangster rap as a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
It had no impact on me wanting to become a drug dealer or wanting to sell drugs or wanting to do any of the things I listen to music. How can people I think most of society separates that. Yeah. But there's enough idiots that glamorize it that like are full on.
Yeah. Yeah. Really strange. It's really sad.
Well, I think it's gotten way more than when we were kids. Because Kanye for young kids, he's a religion.
Yeah. But I think the Beatles probably were. I mean, wasn't every guy cutting his hair like the Beatles and every Michael Jackson? And like, it's just.
Yeah, I think it's happened many times. I believe that. I think now it's just dangerous because of what's coming out of his idiots' mouth.
The last thing too that I'll say is the reason I think it's really sad is because I truly believe that like at the beginning, Kanye was actually probably like too soft and nice for how harsh of a world he was about to get into and like losing his mom. We've all been around him and I know people that are very close with him. I think he
just shell shocked and he just could never recover.
Like he was such a nice guy. He was so, if you were ever around him, like he was so friendly and almost like insecure and kind of small. And like, even when he was as big as graduation.
Yeah.
And I just think he got rocked. And I think the mom thing and I think fame. And I just think he just.
Well, I think, I mean, I would agree, if you were to look outside looking in, Hollywood, fame, I don't wish that on anyone.
Yeah.
It is, I mean, like, there's like, you got like the perfect level of fame. That's what I always say. Yeah, the perfect level. You got to enjoy the perks without actually having to ruin your life.
Without enjoying the perks, if you know what I mean.
That's a good shirt.
Enjoy the perks without the perks. But I also saw the dangerous like edge.
Yeah.
Like I saw like where you kind of felt like, is anyone, my real friend?
Yeah.
Like outside of our circle, which was pretty tight and I'm very thankful for. Outside of that, it was just like, a lot of my friends were our employees.
Yeah.
And after they left or whatever, I never talked to them again.
Yeah.
Or a lot of people, everyone had an opportunity. So, and that was at my very, very tiny level.
Yeah.
Kanye West, like Joe Biden is a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like if he knows who he is. Anyone you meet on earth. Like he said that he had a meeting with MBS in his rant. I'm sure MBS was like, Kanye.
Yeah.
He says, I want to go talk to Trump when Trump's in the White House. Done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fame's scary.
I saw a photo of Bieber like snowboarding in Colorado. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And like, I'm putting this onto him. Maybe he's as happy as he's ever been, but it just looked like lonely and sad.
Yeah.
And I was just like
let the fucking kid snowboard.
Yeah. Then you see Kanye.
Was Haley there for the Revolve thing? Is that what?
I feel like must have been.
Yeah.
And then you see Kanye at Disneyland, with a shirt over his face, and it's just like, it's stupid.
That's why I always say LeBron is the GOAT for so many reasons, but he seemingly has a put together life, and he's one of the most famous people. You could say that
about there's a lot of celebrities that have done it. I mean, I see Jay-Z, he seems pretty fucking happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's that's another task all on its own.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like you could be great at music, you could be great at whatever, and then you have to also be great at being famous. Like there has to be whatever the fucking rule book is.
Yeah.
Yeah, LeBron was at USC watching Bronny, then Sierra watching Bryce. He's probably going to put up 50 tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty great.
discipline.
They're doing well.
There's a level of discipline that was involved in that.
Yeah.
Kanye also went, I'll end it on this. Kanye went on a rant on his trainer, Harley, whatever.
Yeah.
I think he's the one that he accuses of putting him on meds or whatever.
Yeah, so he's going to kill him.
Judging by the video, you might want to give him a call.
Call up Harley and see what he's got in that bag.
I'm sorry. If you're going to be that famous, you got to be in shape, especially with Ozempic around.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ozempic will solve that. Yeah.
Unacceptable.
It's a joke. It's just, I think to Anand's point too, it's like the sad thing is so many young people are like,
yeah,
that's the way.
Yeah.
100%.
Just speak your mind.
And it makes me feel old to say that because, like, you know, now, you know,
standing on business.
Anand just bought a cold tub. You know, like, I feel like we've been positively influenced by some. There's so many, like, you know, Dr. Huberman, and there's all these people out there. I was just on vacation. I went in the sauna. There's this 50-year-old dude in the sauna, and he's like, "Oh, I heard about it from Rogan.
Yeah,
I heard about Dr. Huberman said that the studies in Finland." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
you know, like,
well, that's your life now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's impacting 50-year-old rich dudes from fucking, you know.
I was at a birthday party in Mexico a few weeks ago.
Everyone was in the plunge?
Everyone plunged in sauna, plunge sauna.
Yes.
Everyone. And we all, like, you know, partied hard. Yeah. And the next morning, everyone's like, what time are you hitting the plunge? What time are you hitting the sauna?
Yeah. And that's what's like, you know, once again, I feel old saying this, but like, it's crazy that there's so much of that information out there now that wasn't out there when we were young. But then there's also like
equally the horrible information.
Really easy to just follow that instead. Anyway, okay. Stock market is ripping. J Powell has, I mean, I have a feeling that the invitation, the flyer for the party is about to.
Yeah, it's hit the printing press.
It's hit the printing press, and I have a feeling it's showing up in our mailboxes soon with a couple wristbands, if you know what I mean. I think we're in for. I mean, they're talking of dropping rates multiple times next year. What do we got?
I think J Powell's been slayed.
Been what?
It's slayed. Like we got rid of him. Oh, you know all the. You know,
we still
terrible behavior.
Yeah. We don't want to get rid of him. He needs to stay.
Yeah, wait till he chops a few.
So I have so many thoughts on this. So first and foremost, he is dishonest again.
What do you do?
So
I thought you were going to come in pro J Powell. I was going to say soft landing. He did it.
So he's misled the country.
Yeah.
For the last 2.5 years, and he just did it again. And what I'm saying by that is core inflation is still at 4%.
Yeah.
He said for the last 2 years, 2%. He's not cutting rates until we get to 2% inflation. So what happened? J Powell, what happened?
Yeah.
So and then now the market's pricing in multiple rate cuts for the next year. So
the market is pricing in stimulus. That is what the market is. So out of control what the market is doing.
But the point is, how can we believe this guy?
But he's letting us to the promised land.
Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can listen to those. I know it's impossible, but like, I don't think you can listen to those press conferences. Like, I think other than unless you're trying to play the emotion of the market based on what he says in those press conferences, it's not, they don't track. You could track them.
Well, here's what actually happened that was quite fascinating. He came out on Wednesday saying, basically, likelihood of a cut next year is real. Like, we're still going to monitor data, but like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
That got people very excited. The next day, one of the Federal Reserve governors said, whoa, we did not say that. Like, basically backing up because the market ripped insane.
Market's on fire.
It's on fire.
So what's going to happen right now if the assumption is there's going to be rate cuts? So I think Powell said 3 rate cuts, I believe, in the press conference. Yeah. The market's pricing in 6 rate cuts next year. And there's a 16% chance.
The market wants to cut its dick off. That's what they want to do.
Yeah, the market is sending out the wristbands, I'm telling you.
So there's a 16%, if you look at the futures market, there's a 16% chance
in January.
There's a cut in January. March is almost like baked in. Then May, June, you know, et cetera. But what's going to happen is the market's been very strong the last 12 to 18 months, and it's been carried by 7 names, right? Apple,
Magnificent Seven.
Yeah.
Google, all the NVIDIA. And the interesting thing is if you look the last 2 days, those stocks were actually kind of light.
They were down.
Growth stocks.
Yeah.
So there's a massive rotation from big tech into risk assets. And that's where, because the risk assets, the growth stocks, even though they've recovered from the bottoms, they're still down 60-70% from the all-time highs.
Yeah.
And big tech has been all-time high for week after week after week after week for the last 12 months.
Yeah.
But the companies are also performing, to be fair.
Yeah.
The big tech companies are performing still.
No, of course they are. But I'm saying when you have a rate cut environment, everyone's rotating out of safe assets into risk assets.
Yeah, because they want to make more money now.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because, even Coinbase, which has rallied 400% in the last 9 months, is still down 75% from its all-time high.
Yeah.
Bitcoin's still down 40% from its all-time high.
Yeah.
Even though it's rallied. And so this is not financial advice, but you just heard what I said.
I'll give you some not financial advice. I really believe, and I believe it so much that I will be placing a tiny bet on it, that they will do anything to not let Trump
So that's,
win.
That's the conspiracy corner.
That's the conspiracy.
I'm all in on it.
I agree.
I love it. I hope so. I don't give as long as rates cut.
Shit, yeah.
Stocks, everything goes up. You'll be able to raise 3 more rounds. You'll sell your company.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Let Biden be president for 25 more years. Get rate cuts to 0. I don't give a flying fuck about anybody else at that point.
I really believe it. I think if it comes down, it looks like it's going to come down to Trump and either Biden or whoever, Newsom.
Yeah.
And I think they will do anything. And I think the stock market is one of the biggest.
Yeah. Well, because I also do think like the big red flags in the economy, at least from my observation, it's clear like retail consumer spending. That's the obvious. You're seeing that happen. But like there was a couple layoffs announced in the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
Like Hasbro,
Spotify.
Etsy cut again, Spotify cut again. But like there was some like Citigroup is cutting an ungodly amount of people.
Yeah.
Like the banking sector is cutting a lot of people. There's a lot of non-tech jobs now being lost. That Biden can't walk into October with 4+% unemployment.
Yeah.
When they're sitting wherever they're sitting today at 3.5 or whatever it is.
But don't you think some low rates kind of can bail out a lot of those companies? Yeah.
I think companies then get comfortable with like, okay, our cost of capital is lower.
Right. We
can go raise money again. We can get cheaper debt. Fuck it. We'll keep these loser employees on for a few more years.
Yeah.
Let Biden get elected.
Yeah.
And those, by the way, those are negotiations happening with CEOs of like Boeing and Citigroup sitting with Biden being like, what are you doing for me?
Yeah.
Sleepy?
Yeah, sleepy. Wake up. Do something for me.
Cut these rates?
Yeah.
I'll keep these C employees on for another year.
Yeah.
And then next year, can all of them after you get elected.
It's just December, it's a bloodbath.
Yeah, I think
December to remember. Get the fuck out of here.
Shit.
I mean, in an election year, I think the economy is the only thing that matters for the most part, as long as we're not in the global conflict.
Yeah.
No, it's it. I don't even think at this point.
Bill Clinton coined this term in '92. It's the economy stupid.
Yeah.
And Trump played that perfectly.
Yes.
That's all he cared about. And I just think that group will do anything to not have Trump back in office.
I mean,
anything.
I saw it with my own eyes this week. I was driving back with Javier, and I was like, the gas station in my house was $4.99. And I was like, what?
They're going to be giving away gas in October.
I bet you gas. We had to return one of our cars. So we only have one car right now. And so we're like looking at whatever hybrid and gas cars and electric cars or whatever SUVs.
Yeah, give me diesel.
And now I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, for real.
Load me up.
Give me the
gas
good
is about to be
stuff.
99 cents.
Give me a G-Wagon.
It will, bro.
I don't want to pay for that power, but that cheap gas I'll take.
Yeah.
Isn't electricity off the charts in California?
Yeah, it is. It's up 15%.
So stupid. I think that I don't think that doesn't seem crazy to me, like at all. I know that people are calling it a conspiracy or almost kind of like risky to say.
I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think it's like, Collusion.
If you take out
What's wrong with some collusion?
Conspiracy corner that, hey, this is just to not get Trump elected, which, look, at this point, everything's on the table.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be naive enough to be like, hey, they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But also, you have commercial real estate, which is a zero.
Yeah.
There's no new developments that can be built in this interest rate environment because you had to refinance and the math just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Regional banks are a zero. So that's three things that are they don't affect the average person, but they do affect the economy at large.
Yeah.
If you look down the street, every restaurant around our office has gone out of business for the most part, or is significantly slower because there's no one here.
Yeah.
And then D, I mean, you could edit this if you want, but the conversation we had on Friday, like, it's slow. The consumer's slow.
It's not only slow, like I've gotten some pretty fucking scary phone calls from brands and retailers saying they need help.
And like, it's not just mid-tier brands that you would think would have excess. You were mentioning some pretty high-end brands, some pretty hot streetwear brands.
Yeah.
And
it's ugly out there.
Yeah. And I think maybe J Powell, someone shot him a DM.
Yeah.
J Powell was like, hey, man, I saw no line at Supreme this weekend.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like,
the week before Christmas, you just walk into Supreme?
Yep. We're doing corresponding rate cuts with Supreme drops starting
February. I mean, spring 24 season.
We got a hot rate cut and a new fucking brick we're going to sell.
How many A-list performers performed all summer and everyone spent
I know
so much money going to every single concert?
I think Taylor Swift might have to give some money back.
I mean, Taylor Swift 2024 is a donation tour.
Yeah, literally. I will pay you what you paid last time to come see this.
I made an extra $100 million on the interest. Here you go. Here, you peasants.
I mean, that's probably going to go down as like the most perfectly timed mega tour.
Yeah.
Like the biggest tour of all time happened. Just as everyone was on the
ran out of money.
And like Sponge was like, wait, one more drop Taylor tickets.
You know how they said like Taylor Swift is like an economy?
Yeah.
She brought down the economy.
She did.
Her downfall will be like, man, that was the last nice thing everyone did.
Yes.
Is go to Taylor Swift.
The last drop of stimulus all went to Taylor, and now there's nothing left.
Pot to piss.
Holy shit.
That's great.
Oh my God.
Okay, what's the time check? I'm going to piss real quick. 45.
Okay, I'll cut some topics here.
Want to just pick TikTok highlights?
Yeah.
Oh, one last conspiracy I just want to be early on. And it's so ridiculous I didn't even read it. I'm going to just give you guys a headline.
Uh-oh.
There's a conspiracy starting to go around that the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce romance is a big pharma play because Travis Kelce's doing Pfizer.
We already talked about that. Get out of here.
Mr.
That was a month
Pfizer.
ago.
Did you talk about it?
Yes. Pfizer paid for the whole thing.
Stock's at a 10-year all-time low.
Yeah, because no one's taking the vaccine.
They're not saying it worked. They took a shot.
Look, if Pfizer is that clever,
they deserve it.
They deserve it.
I'll get a booster if they did it.
If they came out and said, this is what we tried and it failed, I will go get triple boosted.
I'll get a booster. Give me a shot of myocarditis straight to the heart. Shoot me straight to the left ventricle.
There's a lot of Taylor conspiracy theories that the NFL is part of it. And
yeah.
Did you see her today at the game?
I saw.
She threw out a what the fuck.
Did they
a bad
win
call
or
or
lose?
Chiefs won.
Okay.
And covered.
Okay, well, either way, I like it. Okay, we got some hot topics here.
Yes.
And these are some fun ones. So, number one, a lot of people during COVID that figured out that they could work remotely, pick new places to live. Like I think a lot of people went to Austin, a lot of people went to Nashville, stuff like that. But a lot of people went internationally. And, we have a list.
Yeah, so
the top 10 places where people went to work remote and keep their US jobs but live internationally.
I really like this idea, particularly even if you're starting a business. I think the cost of living, the cost of a quality life in a major city in America is quite high, as we all know.
Yeah.
And if you're not from there and you don't have relationships, I could see that it could be very daunting to live in a major city.
Yeah.
The problem is, like, you're talking about Akron, like the disconnect of Akron and LA and New York and Miami in our own country is kind of sad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so if you're a young person, like maybe your cousin who still lives in Akron, who's 25 years old, and can figure out a way to make the same income, but live outside of America, they may find that their quality of life is materially different.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas like we were at a run club on Saturday, someone was in Colombia with his girlfriend for 2 weeks and he was looking around. He was like, how cheap it was, eating well, living good. And he's like, even after all that, I couldn't get myself to live here because of my quality of life. I'm like, your quality of life in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Right. Like you have everything you want in LA. Yeah. Whereas like maybe if you lived in Akron or you lived in, Plano, Texas.
Yeah.
Fuck it. What's the point of living here?
But also I will say because I know a couple people, one person who works with us actually moved to Portugal during COVID. And so I know the story and like the take pretty well. And it's like, I think.
So I want to just hear, because I want to hear the exact, what the take was.
Yep.
So I want to tell you the digital nomad visa index basically gives these following factors as why people are moving to these countries.
Yeah. Good.
So active visa availability. It's not easy to just pull up.
No.
You can't just stand on business wherever you want.
No, you can't.
I don't even know what that means, but I don't know you can't stand on it.
Yep.
Internet speed.
Okay. Yeah.
Taxation policies and tax-free length.
Of course.
Income requirement for visa applications.
Okay.
Cost of living in euros.
Yeah.
Global health score. Tourism popularity. So the number one country for digital nomads in 2024 was Spain. Number 2 was Argentina.
Argentina is shocking.
That surprises me.
Have you been?
I've never been, but the inflation's out of control.
Yeah, aren't things a little
but
wild?
Our guy's
there?
in charge now. He's cutting everything. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, that guy, yeah. Yeah. I wish I remembered the word. He had whatever word.
I mean, the currency's not worth what it was the day before.
He devalued it by 50%. So I'll tell you.
Paid in U.S. currency, you're like, fuck, I live like a king. And every day it's getting better and better.
Here are the top 10 countries. And I look, Spain is 1. Argentina is 2. I've been to Spain and Argentina. I get why people want to live there.
Okay.
Romania, 3. UAE, 4. Croatia, 5. Portugal, 6. Uruguay, 7. Malta, Norway, Andorra. So I've been to maybe 6 of these.
I don't even know what Andorra is.
I don't even know what Andorra is. I don't even know if it's in Earth.
I have no idea what continent.
What's funny is no one in the room knows.
Nobody knows what. Maybe it's made up.
Well,
it could be anywhere in Europe.
Anywhere in Europe, that's fine.
But I've been to a lot of these places, and I understand. I understand the appeal of Spain, particularly Argentina. I understand Croatia. I hate to say it, kind of sucked, but
never been.
Where?
Croatia.
I haven't been.
Uruguay. I've been. Not for me.
Romania seems.
Andrew Tate, just like riding the wave.
Seems weird, yeah.
So I wanted to hear, you have a colleague
it's
that
in
went
line
to
with that,
Portugal.
but I think the only thing I was going to give you was a slightly different perspective, which is that you guys and me and your run club people, for the most part, have like a really good social life in LA that's really hard to beat. I know people who just never really, like, imagine you live here and you're paying these rent bills.
And you're not having fun.
And you don't really have, like, you don't go to like the fancy restaurants.
Yeah.
You don't go to
Are you not going to fancy restaurants because of money or because you have no friends?
No friends.
I think you're just not in that
Scene.
you know? Like, I think that we take...
Okay, but that to me is very different. If you don't have any friends in America, you're not going to make friends in Portugal.
Right.
Spain
I think if you take friends out of the equation across the board, you might as well pay a cheaper rent.
Okay, so you're like, if I'm going to be a loner in LA, I better be a loner in Portugal.
And if your friends are like, we just look at it, we're in such a bubble. We look at it as like friends go to fucking Delilah and Swim Week.
Yeah.
There's people who just have like, they're regular fucking friends. And it's just
regular friends.
But, I know, but you offset it with some really cool ones. But I'm saying if your friend is
he made it clear D said this for the last 20 years. I stopped hanging out with my regular friends.
No.
D travels around one of the most expensive cities in the world with no wallet and eats and lives like a king.
Yes.
He's got good friends. I'm saying there's people.
I told you my day today. It was unbelievable.
I know what your day was.
I'm saying there's
no regular friends in part of your day.
No. I think the thing that is almost hard for you to see, there are people here who just have fucking normal friends and they go to the regular
but what does it have to do
Cheesecake Factory. And if you're going to do that, then go do it in Romania.
I know, but if I had normal friends and I lived in wherever, Akron or wherever, Plano, Texas, but I enjoyed my life. What's the reason?
I don't know if they're enjoying their life. That's the point.
I think it's that great. Yeah.
I think it's.
But you're talking about Akron and Plano, Texas. I'm saying the case for why people leave a place like LA.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I think it's pretty easy to leave LA. Like our roots are here, and you've obviously been here almost 20 years at this point.
Yeah.
So you have like a built-in base infrastructure, friends you grew up with, and things you know the city.
Yeah.
If you came, especially a year before COVID, and then COVID hits, lockdown, you don't have a friend group.
Yeah.
You don't have anything.
Yeah.
Why would you want to be here?
Or some people have like a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, and like they go to work and they go home with their husband or wife.
Yeah.
And so if that's what you're doing, then you might as well just do that in another country where you want to look around. You can, like I said, live like a king. You can have a home.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we're very biased in thinking LA is the only place because
I don't think so. I think it's a great idea what people are doing and traveling and finding these new places to live.
Yeah.
I just think ultimately, if you want to find happiness, you do need to make friends.
Yeah.
You need to find roots.
Yeah.
And, like, I'll give you an example. Luke from Run Club, who worked with me for a few years.
Yeah.
During COVID, him and his wife, they don't have children.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is boring. Like we are always out.
Yeah.
And we can't because of COVID. They moved to Tulum.
Yep.
They live in Tulum now.
He's still there.
He's there.
That seems terrible.
Doing Muay Thai fighting.
Yeah.
He posted
Muay Thai fighting.
He did a full match.
Yeah, I watched it.
That seems terrible.
It wasn't unclear if he won or lost.
I don't know if he won or lost.
If it wasn't clear, he lost. Let me just tell you how the posting
up
fights
and
work.
disappeared. And he's a British guy from England.
That's a good example. And he had cool friends.
Yeah, and he had a good life. Yeah. I just think, and I talked to him probably beginning of this year, and he was telling me how happy he is, found friends.
Yeah.
But he's like a friendly guy, so he would have been friends anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it if you can improve the quality of your life.
Yeah.
That's what I think the bar should be.
Yeah.
Like, I can't improve the quality of my life by leaving LA. I can't. No.
But you're so.
I know, but that's just me. I'm using. I'm the edge case.
Yep.
But I think a lot of people can move their quality of life by leaving the country. But you got to pick the right country.
Yeah.
You can't be pulling up to Mongolia.
No.
During the summer, you can.
Okay,
or that
not in the winter when it's negative 73
I've
degrees.
been to Mongolia.
I wonder what's going on in this mystery country that no one even knows.
Andorra?
Yeah.
It's near Spain, apparently.
Okay.
The big.
It says boast wealth. I just Googled it.
They're just hiding money.
Here's my question. As an employer, I think there's a little bit of a hack happening here that I don't know is totally fair. That hack is I'm going to work for, an American company that their rates are kind of set for LA. That's just how you...
And then make money in Portugal.
When we picture, I want to hire a marketing director. You have a price in your head. That price is based on LA. 5 years ago, if I would have said I want to hire a marketing director in Andorra.
That's on the employer. So I'm usually always pro-employer.
Yeah.
In this case, if you choose to not mandate in office and Becky decides to move to Portugal.
Yeah.
Good for her.
But what I'm saying is, can't you, don't you think there comes a time when no one really planned for this? And so people were like, hey, I'm going to do this thing. And I think a lot of employers were like, okay, well, no one's in the office anyway. But now that people are starting to come back into the office in some capacity and you're noticing time differences and things like that, I feel like there could be
But employer can demand that. The biggest companies in the world are demanding that.
What?
Get your ass back in the office, same time zone, same everything.
So all I'm saying, I'm not talking about myself, even though it kind of sounds like I am. I'm saying that I think the hustle could come up.
Yeah.
The hustle of I get paid an LA salary to live in Andorra.
Yeah.
Could people could get hip to it and be like, you know what? There's a fucking Andorra discount.
Yeah.
Because if you are local, you get local.
Well, that's what Google and Facebook started doing.
Yeah.
That if you decided to move remote, you got paid based on your cost of living and wherever you moved to.
Right. Which defeats the whole thing because now you're back in an apartment, but in a fucking Andorra.
For example, like let's say a marketing director at a brand in LA makes $125,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say what's the Andorra discount? 30%?
Well, what's a marketing director in Andorra make?
I mean, Andorra marketing director is making 20 grand.
Right.
Okay,
so 50.
But let's say it was 125 but the American
90K.
company, 90K.
Yeah.
It's worth it for the American company. Because if they're mildly productive.
Yeah, that's worth it. I think that's just a shock to the person who.
But think about how much lack of productivity, because we all have had employees for the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
There's no one in Andorra, if you're in an LA-based company, working the way someone in the LA office
The coffee
is
shops in Andorra, they don't even bring the laptop because they're
There's
like,
no
we're not even
Wi-Fi.
work.
Hell
At least in New York and LA, they pretend to have a laptop.
Yes, and it's just that like I work a little harder when I'm in New York. There's just something about the environment.
Yeah.
And I think like if you're just milling about Andorra, I think that for the person who planned to make $125K in Andorra.
when's the jig up?
Because here's the other thing.
We thought it was up for the last 2 years. We predicted in 21 that the jig was up. Everyone's getting back to the office. This is
I think it takes a long time.
10 years. Because I know D's company very well.
Yeah.
It's Andorra. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Who knows?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
I have a few Andorrites, but not majority.
We don't have Andorra at all. We were back to mandatory in office.
Yeah, mine's majority LA and really starting to go that way.
The thing with my company, you get fired. We have performance reviews. If you don't get it, you're out.
You're in Andorra.
Yeah, you're back to Andorra.
Yeah, but
we have very trackable metrics for every single employee.
it's funny that pre-COVID, the business like smart move was hire overseas.
Yeah.
You know, customer service, stuff like that. Now they flipped it on us.
Why?
Now the overseas is the same price as LA people. And they're living like kings.
Well, no, you need the native overseas
I know,
people.
but I'm just saying, think about like it's sort of flipped.
Yeah.
If you would have told me 5 years ago, hey, you're
paying
going
the
to be
premium
asked
for a U.S. trained person to go overseas and hang out on the beach.
It's even look, if I'm paying you a full LA rate, if 4 times a year I want you to come in for a quarterly, goal setting, touch base, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to. What now? I have to pay for a flight from Andorra.
Yeah.
And there's all these other things, and we got to book it, and we got to, it's.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's funny is we're interviewing for some senior positions right now, and people are applying from other cities, and I was like, oh well, it doesn't really work for us for this particular position. Like, there's certain positions I can get comfortable with, certain positions I cannot.
Yeah.
And these people are like, oh well, I have no problem flying back and forth every week. And I'm like, well, who's paying for that?
Yeah.
Because you're talking, if you live.
Did you ask that?
Yeah. I've asked those questions.
It's at least minimum $400 flight.
What's the expectation?
Yeah. They're just like, oh, company. I'm like, yeah, we're not McKinsey. Like, we don't got money to just pay. You know how expensive? So like last week in New York, we had like 8 employees on top of our team, and we flew hotel, and we stay in I'm staying in like a very modest place when I go to New York, and like my team is as well. It is so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Like you have to
expensive.
Like flights, Ubers, dinners,
Starbucks,
just everything. It adds up, and it's like you got to pay for it
to do a thing that if you were all in the same city is just another day.
Yes,
that's what's crazy.
Yeah,
it's like 30 grand for like what would have just been a normal.
Yeah, so like when people say I'm happy to commute every day, I'm like, well, that's on you.
Yeah,
you have to commute. You chose to live there. You got to pay for it.
I think. And what's their response?
Yeah, I mean that's like a weeding out. Most people say I have talked to one person that has said that's on me. I'll pay for it.
Really?
Yeah.
I told you, I talked a month ago to recruiters, and they
Yeah, you were telling us.
They were like, hey, just so you know, if you have an in-office policy and not a work from home and you have LA only and whatever, it's going to be very, very tough for you.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. And by the way, I'm holding out. Like for certain positions, I can get comfortable. Certain positions I cannot. And I'll just wait. If it takes me 6 months, a year to find that person, all good.
This is why I think it takes a long time. I think it's 5 years maybe longer. Is because the results just have to prove, like companies that are in office have to outperform companies that aren't. And that has to be something they talk about on their shareholder meetings. Yeah. And it just has to be like Elon. I think his work at Twitter, I think that caused some like firings and some hard conversations in some smaller companies. Yeah. And I think if Twitter performs, it'll cause even more I think the biggest wrench in our prediction was we all thought a recession was coming and it never came. So companies couldn't drop the hammer.
Never landing.
I'm telling you, J Powell, Biden, next year.
So then that means if we're saying rate cuts, I mean, no one's showing up to office the next 2 years, minimum.
Yep, that's how it would look.
But there is a lag. Just, there was a lag on the impact of interest rates rising, and there's going to be a lag on interest rates cutting.
I feel like we
so next year will be painful.
Painful for who, though?
I think the general economy.
Stock market, we ripping.
Stock market and the economy has nothing to do. We were shut down for 2 years. Stock market went to record high.
Can't wait.
No one was even doing anything.
Wait. Yeah. Let's get that ZERP back.
If we avoid a recession, Andorra's popping.
Yeah.
If somehow reality
if unemployment spikes to 6% or something crazy.
That's the only thing that could
then everything's off the. We're 7 days in the office, and you got to buy whoever your manager's a fucking cup of coffee when you walk in.
I mean, you're probably the only one that would know this.
Yeah.
Because you talk to China.
Yeah.
Are they in office?
Gotta be, right?
Let me tell you something about China.
Yeah.
Don't call it a comeback. I'm predicting a big comeback. They have cut interest rates, or they give you money.
No, but I'm saying
everyone's in office.
Yeah, everyone's showing up.
Don't they have brain trackers
to a
on
company
people?
that we talked to. I'm in such strict NDA with them, so I'm not going to say the company, but you guys can guess. A company we talk about all the time that is from that country.
Yeah, it's on the list.
That country. And let me tell you something. Everyone's in office.
Yeah.
They've imported people from that country. And so the Americans that are there.
The Americans here in that branch are in the office too?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was there at 9 a.m. Looking.
I saw a video of students in that country with brainwave trackers on to make sure they were focused, or else their brainwave report.
They are in they're fighting for survival.
Yeah,
we're fighting for
Andorra.
Andorra.
And Arby's and Ozempic and
Ozempic and don't show up to work again. That's pretty much what.
All right. Well, what we're actually fighting for. This could be the last topic. 10 most popular Christmas movies of all time.
Good time to do it. Home Alone.
So
love Home Alone.
So Christmas, I don't think people appreciate until Christmas happens.
Yeah. Christmas
is big.
For revenue?
In just every sense of the word, right?
Yeah.
The idea of Christmas really, America needs Christmas so bad on so many levels.
Yeah, we need football on Christmas.
Football on Christmas.
And Santa.
By the way, football is on Christmas Day. NBA's a wrap. NBA should shut down. They should reschedule those games.
Problematic. It's a Monday, and NBA normally owns Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And the NFL decided to put 3 games. So they're all good.
They normally didn't?
No, they normally stay away from Christmas. It's like a
respect.
Oh, like a
church
religious.
and state.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Boom, we're done.
Wow.
But Christmas.
That's the hammer.
I was looking at Spotify's top 50 songs or whatever.
Yeah.
I think only Jack Harlow was on it. Everything else is a Christmas song.
Yep.
We obviously all live in this neighborhood. We live near the Grove. You can't even drive down fucking Fairfax because the entire city of Los Angeles is on the Grove's back right now. The Grove is holding up the entire city right now with that goddamn tree, which is one of the largest trees in the world, by the way.
Yeah.
Christmas is big business. It's big, even with my kids, Santa, the fucking elves, the movies, the music, the lights.
Every restaurant has Christmas music.
Yeah, it's just Christmas is big.
Yeah.
I think people always like underappreciate how important Christmas is.
Yeah.
For a lot of people. Like for kids, obviously it's like it's the top of the year.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas, birthday.
Yeah.
And then I think for a lot of families, it's the, my cool LA son gets to come
sit in our living room.
Courtyard Marriott.
Yeah, the Courtyard Marriott.
So the movies around Christmas are so iconic.
Yep.
Like global iconic hits. So the list compiled by IMDb of the 10 most popular Christmas movies of all time.
God, if
your pick is Home Alone?
Am I going for number one?
Yeah, you're going for number one.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
I just read the list. It's funny how Die Hard's on the list.
Die Hard. Oh, so we're talking about movies that people watch at Christmas, not necessarily Christmas themed.
I love Die Hard. It's a great movie.
But I think the idea is basically, I think anything around that
There's probably spikes every year.
Home Alone is number one.
Oh God,
Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2 is on there too.
Yeah.
I like Home Alone 2 as well.
Number 2 is
I might
Love
watch that this year.
Actually, which kind of crickets for me.
Is there anything Christmassy in that? I forget that movie.
It is Christmassy.
Okay.
Keira Knightley, Emma Thompson.
That's number what?
Number 2.
What the fuck?
Oh, it's great. Love Actually.
Oh.
It's because it's just this like.
It's for the whole family.
No, it's like people feel sad. It's like a longing.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
The movie itself is sad.
I think a lot of people are sad during holidays.
They're like, I'm stuck at this Courtyard Marriott.
Or they aren't seeing their family. They broke up with their
I think it's
significant
more
other.
people like are alone.
Yeah, they broke up and.
All right. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Unbelievable movie. Number 3. I've watched that many times as a child. Elf 4.
Yeah.
Great. Unbelievable movie, Elf. 5 is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. 6 is The Grinch, the Jim Carrey version.
Yeah.
7 is The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. Unbelievable movie.
Yeah.
8 is Die Hard.
Amazing.
Number 9 is Home Alone 2. And number 10 is The Polar Express.
You know what I just watched the other night that was like our little Christmas movie watch was 4 Christmases.
Oh, yeah.
Great movie.
You know what I'm sad?
You know what?
It just shows our age. It's a Wonderful Life. It's
So our dad's favorite Christmas movie, and we watched it every Christmas Eve or Christmas night. It's a Wonderful Life.
I don't know if I've seen that.
It's
It
from
is-
like the late 40s.
Really?
Yeah.
Black and white.
Yeah, it is Jimmy, what's the guy's name? The actor?
Fallon.
Definitely not. I think Jimmy Smits was the character on the movie, but it's like one of the most famous actors ever. Fuck.
Yeah.
No.
James Stewart.
James
Stewart. Sorry.
Yeah.
James Stewart. Jimmy Stewart. It is such a fucking incredible movie. If you haven't, it's black and white.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I'm going to be sitting at the Courtyard Marriott.
Okay,
So.
when you're at the Courtyard Marriott, put this movie on. It is, and it's very like, it's basically a guy that fell on hard times and like was literally going to kill himself. And
But it was a wonderful life.
like Christmas miracle type stuff. And he forgot like that people loved him and his family and friends and whatever.
Moved to Andorra.
Yeah. It's a wonderful knife. Now it's like, I got no money. My girl dumped me. Fuck it. I'm out to Andorra. It's a wonderful life. It's 90 degrees in Andorra.
If you had to think of a movie in the last 5 years that will break into the top 10, so obviously it's not all Christmas related. Die Hard is just like kind of an institution from.
I don't know, but
when
he's
we're
wearing a
growing
hat.
up.
He's wearing a Santa hat in the movie, I think.
Yeah, he is. You're right.
Oh.
I'm trying to think
You
of a
can't
movie.
even celebrate Christmas now.
I'm surprised it's not like a Fast and Furious type thing or,
No,
Or
but
like
there's
a
a Christmas
Top Gun.
element.
The Rock.
Top Gun could break.
No, I mean, there's no
America.
Christmas element to it. They'll probably say it's like religious persecution.
That's fair. I forgot he wore a hat.
He wore a hat.
He wore a hat.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Motherfucker. Yeah, I
Kind of
just.
sad what happened to him, too. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah, he's got dementia.
Oof.
Yeah.
Sucks.
He's like
Very
a
sad.
weird, like rare kind too.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was a director or a producer, I would just be taking shots at Christmas movies.
Oh yeah. And by the way, like there are Christmas movies that come on Netflix and Prime. I see them, and they seem to trend pretty well.
Yep.
But
it's like Mariah Carey. If you get one, every year you just get a stimmy check.
Fuck.
So nice.
Christmas is hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny, I feel like fucked up. I've always had this like negative, it just feels like a chore.
Are you going solo or is Corinne coming?
I think I'm solo. Even she doesn't want to go. Well, we just went, we just went before we went to New York like 2 months ago. And so for her, she's, her family's here.
Yeah.
So every year it's been, she's never came for Christmas because it's always been like,
same time.
Her mom's here and stuff. But hey, Merry Christmas, So we'll have Wednesday and then no Sunday. What day is Sunday?
Sunday is Christmas Eve, yeah.
Well, if you're here,
that could be my excuse.
Because you should watch Love Actually and you could be like everyone else. Sad.
I'll just be sad in the Courtyard Marriott alone. Shit.
I hope your mom punches you in the face.
I mean, I'm gonna get such a sad. You want to talk about sad? The text that's coming to me tomorrow morning. It's okay if it's that hard. You don't have to come.
You better go.
No, I'm going.
All right.
We got a couple shout outs.
All right. Shout out to
myself.
All
right.
Sean Brills, listener since the very beginning and 5'4" member. I got 3 kids and same birthday as Drama,
Woo!
December 4th.
Nice.
My wife is sick and I've been doing triple duty, coaching my son's basketball team, teaching my 4-year-old to play hockey, and I don't know how to skate. Much love. Best podcast by far, and much love to the whole team.
Yeah. See, here I am complaining about flying to Ohio. This guy's falling all over the ring.
This guy's going all in.
Yeah.
And you're talking about going to Courtyard Marriott.
Ah, man, I'm sorry, Sean.
Man, drama white privilege, huh?
Shout out to you.
Dude, once you have kids, if you heard the way you're complaining about what you just outlined,
yeah, I might have a kid.
It's offensive.
Could make things. I might do a little USC camera work and be like, "Congratulations, just had a kid." Borrow a kid for Christmas. Okay,
the next Peta Valdez. I'd like to give a shout out to my son, Dominic. Oh, wow.
Nice.
On his first birthday tomorrow, the 18th. We had a completely different name planned for him before I got pregnant. But midway through my pregnancy, we decided to change it to Dominic.
100% due to this podcast.
100% due to this podcast.
Dominic already has a kid named after him.
That's amazing. Thanks for keeping the stay-at-home mom informed on all the important news. Keep up the great work. I hope our Dominic and your Dominic meet one day.
Yeah, Dominic Valdez.
Yeah.
Can you believe, that's a pretty big deal, actually.
That's pretty insane.
It's pretty incredible. I love it.
Dominic already it's like when, when people have like a really big year, Kobe, and then all the Kobe's that are that year. Yeah. You have a Dominic.
That's amazing. And spelled the same way, which is, what's funny is on the spelling of Dominic's name. So we had decided the name.
Okay.
And the nurse kept saying, we need a name. And I was like, I got a name. I'm just going to write it. Because we had already discussed the name.
Yeah.
So I said Dominic. And I had written it with a K at the end. CK.
CK, yeah.
And she's like, what's up with the K? Like,
the nurse or Haley?
Haley. She was like, I don't want the K.
Yeah.
And so I ended up erasing the K and we got it with the C.
What's the normal? That seems right.
There's two.
Is there a lot of Ks?
I've seen K.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Losers. Drop the K.
I have a shout out. A guy named Daniel stopped me at the Newark airport.
Nice.
He went to USC, or he might still be at USC. So he's a big fan. He was there with his fiance.
Oh, nice.
On his way to New York, stopped, and very nice, friendly guy.
That's amazing.
All right. That's amazing.
Okay. Well, once there's a little maverick out there, then you'll know you're really making an impact. Is that it?
Oh, well, we have to shout out what did you want us to shout out? Our
YouTube.
Socials? YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube.
We need to get this YouTube popping.
All right, look, tell Josh, if you want Josh to shut up, go to our YouTube. If you made it this far in the episode, you obviously support us.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about YouTube. The fun for it, this is a real reason. It's fun because you guys can comment and we can read the comments and we can engage and we can see what people are saying. On Spotify and all that, it's kind of like we're just talking to nothing.
Yeah.
We don't hear it. We know you guys are listening. We get some DMs, of course, but like seeing comments on which parts you like the most, what made you laugh. Yeah. It does help us. That's why we like those live events, because you can hear people's reactions. Yeah,
that's great. Actually, Lo Ciento actually launched a YouTube channel too. Subscribe to that. Launching a tequila brand on YouTube will be fun.
Yeah. Is there a lot of, do you have to like be really careful there?
I don't know.
You'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. Subscribe and
ask
find
you in a couple months. Yeah. So it's just group chat podcast or?
Yep. Group chat pod.
Okay, there you go. Group chat pod. YouTube.
Last thing before we go.
Yeah.
Because everyone who wanted to tune out would have tuned out.
Yeah.
Jake Paul, what was this fight?
Oh yeah. Why you said the Pauls are done? Because that fight was a joke. Is that why?
Yeah. I didn't even know there was a fight.
What are you subscribed to his fucking YouTube?
I'm adept at social media. I'm on TikTok.
Yeah.
But you're not subscribed.
Because when you said that, I went on to be like, what happened? I didn't even know there was a fight.
That's my point.
And I saw the clip, but then, yeah.
You just beat up some kid just for the weekend.
Yeah. I think it's just, like we said on that one episode, the problem with the route that they're taking, which could be, has already been incredibly lucrative, is like, you got to constantly outdo yourself. And that's so hard to do. And so now, the whole narrative for this fight was, he's fighting a real boxer. He's finally fighting a real boxer, which he already did that and he lost. Yeah. And the real boxer was horrendous. And so he just found a worse real boxer and knocked the poor guy out. I don't know where this guy's at in his life, but signing up to just get your brain splattered by Jake Paul is
But
not
Javier was
good.
telling me he intentionally didn't want to promote it. So what's the point of fighting?
It was just practice.
Did he say that? Did Jake say that?
I think so.
I think that unfortunately, because I'm one of them, I think Jake is listening to the shit talkers.
Yeah.
Which the critique is, fine, do your little sideshow, but you're not a real boxer. Stop saying you're going to fight Canelo and you're going to be a heavyweight champ. And I think he listened to people like me too much and went to like work his way up the ranks and fight a real boxer and not really promote it because he doesn't want to be a corny YouTube guy. And it turns out you just looks like you're knocking out like a fucking retired football player. The poor
like a guy from the gym, like he picked him from Equinox.
Literally, I shouldn't have even said retired football player. Literally, the dude that used to be a trainer at Equinox and has kind of fallen on hard times.
That's like
you just uppercutted him.
To your point on Christmas, he came out to Jingle Bells.
Jake did? Oh my God.
See, I'm on social. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
The fact that I didn't know this fight was happening was pretty shocking to me.
It's just, I think he's taking the wrong approach. And I think he's listening to the hate. And I think
he probably made so much on NFTs, he doesn't care.
Yeah, I think the right thing for him to do is keep beating up at least old MMA fighters. Like at least someone that people...
Names. You need names.
Yeah.
I think you start beating up like rappers. Beat up Jack Harlow.
Yeah, he could beat up Blueface. Blueface he's a boxer,
Yeah.
He should fight Draymond Green.
Yeah, he obviously wants to be a boxer.
Yeah.
Fight him. Yeah. It's I don't know. We'll see how he recovers, but I think it's just coming to an end. The shtick, like where do you go from here? The problem is
he should fight George Foreman.
Which one? There's a ton.
No, the 76-year-old.
Just do the final CTE blow. There's one
Foreman
left.
has a boxing gym. I'm shocked you haven't gone.
He should go fuck him up.
You should watch his movie on Netflix. Incredible.
Little George Foreman or Big George Foreman?
Yeah, about his whole life story.
We didn't talk about Ohtani. We can end on that.
What about him?
$700 million contract.
I thought we talked about it.
A bad deal.
But didn't he give it all away?
Like 14 years.
Yeah, what the fuck?
If you have inflation, this guy's cutting interest, inflation's going through the roof. That 700 is like 450.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a crazy deal, but there's been a lot of financial coverage of it. Like, this is what it actually breaks down to, and he's deferring it, and this is what it is after taxes. It just seems like kind of a bummer.
The assumption is he's basically deferring $680 million of the 700.
Yeah.
and that he's gonna, once he's done playing after 10 years, he moves to a tax haven. Like he could go to Andorra and
then collect it without the tax.
Let me tell you where he's not going.
Whatever.
He's fucking Andorra.
But did you see, here's a bigger thing that you'll like. Did you see that one of the reasons why he agreed to finally sign was because of a video from Kobe?
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
It's kind of, I thought it was kind of exploitation.
Well, he said it.
Fair.
Dodgers didn't say it.
No, but the Dodgers used Kobe to fucking recruit this guy.
What was a video from 2017?
I don't know, but like, come on.
What was he saying? What was he saying in the video?
They didn't show the video. They just said
they said basically
Kobe did a favor for the Dodgers in 2017.
No, they said what he said. He basically said, if you're going to win, there's no better city than to win in LA, and there's no better team to win with is the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, the guy died. Like, why the fuck are you exploiting him?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I'm on your side.
I didn't like that.
What's funny is I thought for some reason...
For like monetary gain for yourself. All right, chip the kids off.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, there's an owner who benefits from that.
Yeah.
It's a business decision.
It's a business decision that we're going to exploit.
So you're saying the Dodgers should pay Vanessa and the kids?
Yeah, cool. We're going to use this video to recruit the greatest baseball player ever. If he signs, here's $10 million. Because, by the way, we're not paying this schmuck for 10 years. Because it's not a bad deal.
Yeah. I don't think you're wrong here. I thought in my head, when I quickly read it, once again, I don't know shit about baseball. I thought he talked about him, Ohtani.
No, it was a video.
It's like before Ohtani existed.
It was before Ohtani got to the Angels. He was deciding, he was being recruited from Japan, and every team wanted him.
So he said his name.
Yeah.
That makes it a little better. It wasn't just like a Go LA video and they said, hey, let's show this.
Why didn't they show it to them 7 years ago? Why you show it to him now? When you were recruiting him in the first place? Because they said the Dodgers were recruiting him since like elementary school or whatever.
But obviously they tried because they wouldn't have had Kobe make the video.
Yep.
Look, whatever. I hope Dodgers win. It's a great deal for the Dodgers. He obviously doesn't give a fuck. He's so rich.
Yeah.
He's made like $500 million already.
Yeah, so just for context, he makes $50 million off the field. The next highest baseball player that makes off the field, take a guess what the number is.
60 grand.
No, 5 million.
5 million?
Yeah.
Who? I don't even know.
Aaron Judge.
5 to 50?
Yeah. Because Japan. So what's going to happen when you show up to Dodger Stadium, everything's in Japanese from here on out.
Konnichiwa, bitch. Yeah. They're just screaming or arigato on the way out.
I have a friend. I have a very, like one of my best friends who knows nothing about sports was in Japan with his wife 2 months ago, 3 months ago. He just texted me. He's like, who's this Ohtani guy? Because he's literally the face of the country.
Yep. I understand why he did the deal, why the agent did the deal.
Shout out to Nez.
Yeah.
The agent. We know the agent. I've known him 17 years.
He made more than the Bryants did. Fucked up.
R.I.P.
Fucked up. Not right.
Dodgers just milked it, huh?
Yeah.
Who runs the Dodgers?
Are you telling me he didn't already see the video?
Who's Guggenheim?
He didn't see
the museum?
No, the fund.
He didn't see the video on the last round? The video changed his mind this time? Something's
That's
fishy
a great
here.
point.
I don't think it said his name. I think that's a lie. I don't think it said his name. I think it just said if you're going to win in LA, win with the blah, blah, blah. They're probably
like, can we show you this video again?
Walking around fucking high schools with that goddamn video, trying to milk every kid from the valley to sign with the Dodgers.
They just changed the name.
It is a good point. Why was he so shocked about the video in 2023 when he could have signed in 2017?
Right.
Because
something's not adding
up. It's AI. There. It's fake.
It's too good for the story.
Kobe probably didn't even like the Dodgers.
LA press.
Kobe threw out the first pitch. There's a video of him.
Threw out the first pitch
2 times.
I have his jersey.
Pretty low.
I have his jersey still from when he threw out the first pitch.
Yeah. John Turgeon threw out the first pitch.
Exactly. Fuck the Dodgers.
Threw out the first pitch.
Who hasn't thrown out the first pitch?
Look, pull anyone off the fucking street.
Trauma should do the video. Hey, bro.
Yo, bro. I know you don't remember
I heard
me.
you good. I don't know if you want to come and let Annie, if your brother wants to throw out the first pitch.
They let me do it twice.
Yeah, whatever. You should get your mom to the first pitch. That's why you should sign. It's a fun. You get a free hot dogs.
How many home games do they have a season?
81.
81?
Yeah, 81.
No wonder, bro. You can't get 81 people. Fuck. They're just like, here's fucking Jim from the fucking steakhouse next door.
Do you know the other shady thing? The other shady thing is,
God,
I have a friend who played. I put this in the chat. I have a friend who played with him on the Angels. So he speaks fluent English.
Really?
And he has an interpreter, so he's have to talk to him.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
That's what I want to do with a hearing aid.
What do you mean?
I want to wear a full old school hearing aid so no one talks to me.
Mm-hmm.
Full Larry David.
Full hearing aid. Like, I think people will be intimidated to talk to me. That only do sign language.
There's a video of Ohtani speaking Spanish that leaked.
The guy's like trilingual, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm my interpreter.
Like, talk to my guy over here.
What do we got though?
Yeah, so the Kobe thing could all be a sham.
Yeah, it's just too good for the press. It doesn't quite add up. There's a few holes.
Hyping up Kobe throughout the first pitch.
Yeah. Literally. Are you kidding? They probably asked him 81 times a year if he'd throw out the first pitch. They're like, it's you or fucking drama from Robin Big for the third time.
Hey, Robin Big had a big shout out today.
Yeah, what was that?
So Christian McCaffrey, who's like the star running back in the NFL for the 49ers, and his offensive tackle,
so that guy's
Trent Williams,
big.
He's a big deal too.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey's
Look, they're two best players, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a short white guy and a big black guy. And they said Robin Big. So you guys are still popping.
Look at that. Let me do the third throw.
Maybe you should do the opening day.
Oh, bro, come on. Yeah. Who do you need? I'll make a video.
Yeah, do it Japanese.
How many times do you think they've asked?
You learn a line of Japanese.
How many times do you think they've asked Rob?
Probably. I did it twice. They've asked him 32 times. Oh,
Rob should do it.
God. Can you imagine like how annoying that would be to be in charge of that booking?
Yeah.
81 games a
Just
year?
be like, hey, we got the guy from The Bachelor, not the guy that won.
Literally.
The guy that was sexually assaulting everyone, that's the guy we got.
Yeah. We got the lead camera operator. I don't know. He said he has a good arm. Fuck.
It's funny. I used to know the girl that actually used to do the bookings.
Was it Kat or who was it?
She was one of them.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Well, should we end on that?
Yeah.
All right. There you go. Sunday episode. If you made it this far, thank you.
It was fun.
Hope you enjoyed the last little laugh. See you later.